The house stood old, creaky but comforting. It was home to Billy and his family. Every corner held memories. Every floorboard creaked a familiar tune. Life was normal, uneventful, until it wasn't. One night a storm raged. Rain lashed against the windows. Wind howled like a banshee. Billy lay in bed listening to the storm's symphony. He felt safe, secure within the walls of his home. He closed his eyes, drifting off to sleep. Then, he heard it. A noise. A new creak. A creak that shouldn't be there. He sat up, his heart pounding. It came again, louder this time. From the end of the hallway just beyond his bedroom door, curiosity warred with fear. He had to know, he had to see. Slowly he crept out of bed and tiptoed towards the door. Each step felt heavy, laden with dread. He reached for the doorknob, the cold metal sending shivers down his spine. The hallway was dark, illuminated only by flashes of lightning. He counted the rooms as he passed. 1, 2, 3. He stopped at the end of the hall. There, where there should have been a wall, was a door, a 13th room. He had never seen this door before. It was old, made of dark gnarled wood. The doorknob was tarnished brass, cold and slick beneath his hand. He hesitated, fear tightening its grip on him. He knew he should turn back. But something, perhaps that same insistent curiosity, drew him closer. He turned the knob. The door creaked open, revealing a room shrouded in darkness. A musty smell wafted out, chilling him to the bone. He took a step inside. The floorboards groaned under his weight. He felt a presence, something cold and unseen, watching him. Terror gripped him. He wanted to run, to scream, but his feet felt rooted to the spot. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe. He was frozen, trapped in the suffocating darkness of the 13th room. He fumbled for the light switch. The room flickered to life, revealing a dusty, cobwebbed space. It was empty, devoid of furniture. Only shadows danced on the walls, cast by the flickering light. He listened. The storm outside seemed to have calmed, but now a new sound filled the silence. A whisper. He couldn't make out the words, but it seemed to come from the far corner of the room. A cold shiver ran down his spine. He took a step back towards the door. He wanted to leave, to forget he ever found this room. But the whisper came again, closer this time, clearer. "Don't be afraid," it whispered. "Come closer." He knew he shouldn't. It was dangerous, foolish. Yet, his feet moved against his will. He took another step, then another, drawn toward the voice like a moth to a flame. Each step brought more whispers, more chills, more terror. He reached the corner. It was empty, just like the rest of the room. But the whispers continued, swirling around him, beckoning him closer to something he couldn't see. Section 4. The Lurking Terror. Nights turned into weeks. The door remained, a constant reminder of the unknown. Every night the same routine. The storm, the creaking, the whispers. Each night the whispers grew louder, the presence stronger. He felt drawn to the room, pulled by an invisible force. One night, the whispers stopped. He stood in the center of the room, his heart pounding. The silence was deafening. The air grew heavy, thick with anticipation. Then a low growl echoed through the room. He spun around, searching for the source. His eyes darted from shadow to shadow, but he saw nothing. The growl came again, closer this time, more menacing. He backed away, fear gripping him like a vice. He bumped into something cold and solid. He whirled around and screamed. Two glowing red eyes pierced the darkness, staring at him with chilling intensity. A low growl rumbled from the creature's throat. It took a step closer, its form slowly emerging from the shadows. Section 5. The night of escape. The creature lunged. He threw himself to the side, scrambling away on his hands and knees. He scrambled to his feet, his heart pounding in his chest. He had to get out, had to escape. He ran towards the door, his breath catching in his throat. The creature lunged again, its claws grazing his arm. He cried out in pain but didn't slow down. He reached the door and fumbled for the handle. It wouldn't budge. It was locked. He rattled the handle, his panic rising. He turned back to face the creature, his back against the door. It was closer now, its eyes burning into him. He closed his eyes, bracing himself for the worst. He heard a deafening roar, felt a rush of hot, fetid breath on his face. Then, silence. He opened his eyes. The room was gone. The door was gone. He was back in his hallway, the familiar creaking of his old house, a welcome sound. He stumbled back to his room, his body trembling. He slammed the door shut and leaned against it, his heart still racing. He had escaped the 13th room, but one question remained. Was he safe? Or was this just the beginning,